as I look back, it probably hit me in my early high school years of when things really started to deteriorate.
For everyone out there, how old are you now? How long has it been?
51 now.
51, 51 years young.
Well, I feel like it now after working with you for the last 6 months. Yes, I would say that. But previous to this, 51 was not looking so good because of all the issues I had. So.
And what was that?
Yeah.
What surgery was that?
I had an ileostomy.
Mm-hmm.
So I had the ileostomy, wore the bag for 6 months.
Oof.
And then had a second surgery to then go in and put back together after they sectioned out the worst part of the small intestine.
Mm. And what was that like going through the surgery and wearing that bag?
Not fun. It did make me feel better for a short time, because obviously when they took out the infected intestine, that was gone, so that made me feel better, but it didn't last very long.
After you had the surgery and then you had the reverse surgery and going through that, the disease, it started coming back.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, just immediately because, I kept eating the same type of foods and the same habits and things like that, so, nothing really changed other than having surgery.
Yeah. And then for the next, 20 some odd years, you were dealing with symptoms and trying to mitigate them.
Symptoms, getting frustrated going to doctor visits and not feeling like I was getting anywhere, so I pretty much stopped that and just said, I have to figure this on my own. Mm-hmm. And you got to remember, when was the internet created?
Mm-hmm.
There was no internet back in those days. So I spent countless hours in libraries trying to find books. I knew there had to be this other world out here that I just found at 51. It took me that long to kind of find it.
So, now fast forwarding, we started working together, I think we started last October. So it's been roughly around 8 months. I remember you calling me a few weeks later and saying that you had your first normal, you were feeling more regular and more normal issues, and the first time in years, in 20 some odd years, that your body had really took on what we were doing quite nicely.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it was instant results,
Wow.
Which I had never experienced before. And so yeah, it was
big. Yeah, but
it's huge.
Everyone out there who's listening to this, instant results is not it's not something I can guarantee or anyone can guarantee. This is a case-by-case study.
It's just like you saying you didn't know if you could help me.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you could help me either.
Yeah.
But yet I also told myself a long time ago that this disease was not going to define me.
Where are your symptoms now? How do you feel? What's going on?
Oh, I feel great. I have energy. I want to get out of bed, which I didn't want to before. I had, brain fog, where it was just, I was drinking a ton of coffee, drinking Diet Mountain Dews, trying to figure out how to get more energy, struggling to get through the day, physically and mentally on both of those ends. And now it's not a problem. I wake up and I just can't wait to get out of bed because I have these things to do and my mind is clear. I can handle more things. Of course, I probably made my life more complicated because now I'm taking on more things because I'm not tied to the bathroom anymore. So it's just been fantastic. That comes to at least for me when I got married with this, the support of my wife has been tremendous because we're still married, we have 3 kids, life is good, and she's gone through all this with me. And that's pretty tough. I mean, that's, I think I have to bring that up, because for people out there that might be single, that's great. But for people that are married, you need that support. Some of my first results were the herxing, and that wasn't fun. But that actually motivated me, because it said, well, something's happening and this is working. So I have to, keep getting educated and believe in it. And
I guess one thing, if you'd like to leave anyone out there who might be relating with you, maybe it's someone who's, had the surgery, or maybe it's someone who's in their 50s who's been dealing with this for 20 years. What would you say to them?
Well, I mean, obviously I'd say call Dane and do what he tells you to. I mean, that's, end of story. But no, I think education is huge. And you've been a great partner in that, in trying to, recommend the protocols and the things to do, but also providing the information of why and how and stuff like that. So yeah, I think if it's not you, somebody like you that they can reach out to and get help. But I think there's other avenues. There's things out here that can be done, and it's not like you said, there's hope. There's, don't get down. It's doable.